Hello, I'm Mr. Dady, and today we're going to talk about linear equation basics. So a linear equation is an equation that when you graph it, it is a line, is a straight line. Whether it's positive, negative, horizontal, or vertical, it is a linear equation. All right, the first thing we're going to talk about is solutions. All right, so I give you an equation in slope-intercept form that looks like this. If you need to know more about slope-intercept form, you can go watch the video about slope-intercept form. I'm just assuming that you've already watched the other videos when you watch this, or you understand it. All right, so now I say to you is the point 42, the point 27, or the point -1, -7, an answer. Right? So one of those is an answer for this. What that means is one of these points is going to end up on the line when you graph this. So it is a solution for this. So to figure out if it's a solution, you have to plug it in. All right, so the first one we're going to do is 4, 2. All right, 4 is my x point, 2 is my y point. And I plug those in and see if it makes a true statement. So 2 equals 2 times 4 minus 5. So 2 times 4 is 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. So does 2 equal 3? No, it does not. So 4, 2 is not a solution for this equation, and it will not be on the line when it's graphed. Now let's try 2, 7. All right? So all you have to do is redo it. I'm putting off the side. That's my x, y, and I plug it in again. 7 equals 2 times 2 minus 5. So 2 times 2 is 4, minus 5 gives me -1 equals 7. Does -1 equal 7? No, it does not. So 2, 7 is not a solution and is not found on the line when you graph it. Now we'll do the last one. -1, -7. That's my x point, that's my y point, and I plug it in. So -7 equals 2 times -1 minus 5. So 2 times -1 is -2 minus 5. -2 minus 5 is -7. So does -7 equal -7? Yes, it does. So -1, -7 is a solution for this linear equation. And when you graph this line, it will go through the point -1, -7. Now I'm going to do another example for you. All right, example number 2. 2x plus 3y equals 7. Is 0, 8, or 2, 1 a solution for this? This is just another form of slope-intercept form before you solve it. If you want to, you can go through the whole process of turning it into slope-intercept form, but for what we're trying to figure out here, it doesn't matter. Okay? So all I do is plug it in again. So I have x and y. I plug in 0 for my x. Then I plug in 8 for my y. 2 times 0 is 0. 3 times 8 is 24. So does 24 equal 7? No, it does not. So that is not a solution. It will not be on the line when we graph this. Now let's try 2, 1. All right, so I plug in the 2 for my x, and then the 1 for my y. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3, 7 equals 7. So 2, 1 is a solution for this equation, and when we graph this line, it will go through the point 2, 1. All right, now we're going to talk about how to find the intercepts when you have two variables. So when you have two variables, what that means is it's going to be on a coordinate plane. When you have an x and a y, it's just going to be the slope of the form. Okay. So to find the x-intercept, you make y equals 0. All right, so if I tell you, here's your equation, find what the x-intercept is. So when you're looking at the x-intercept, you're looking for the point where it crosses this line right here. All right, so for it to cross that line, your y has to be at 0, right in the middle. If your y was up here, that means your x point would be somewhere on that line right there, not in the x-axis. So your y has to equal 0. So I plug in 0 for my y, and then I solve. Divide by 2, divide by 2, x equals 4. So my x-intercept for this problem is 4. So all you do is make y 0. So if to find the x-intercept, you make y 0, what do you think you do for finding the y-intercept? You make the x equal 0. Now, if you just solve this, you can know what your y-intercept is, because in slope-intercept form, it's the constant or the b that's there. But just for the sake of argument, we're going to say it's in this form. Tell me what the y-intercept is. All right, so I'm going to plug it in, make x 0. So then y equals 8. There you go. So your y-intercept there will be actually the point 0, 8. So that is where it will go on the y-axis. All right, these are just the intercepts and how to find them. You want to find the x-intercept, you make y 0. You want to find the the y-intercept, make x 0. Now for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you a different way of graphing. I have a whole nother video on graphing using slope and the y-intercept. I'm going to show you in this video how to graph a linear equation using points. Alright, now to graph any line or any linear equation, you want it in the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. This is not in that form. So now all you have to do is a simple literal equation to move it. So I subtract the 2x from both sides, bring down the 3y. Those cancel out. I have negative 2x plus 4. Now I divide by 3, divide by 3. Y equals negative 2x plus 4 over 3. Now I'm leaving it looking like that just for the sake of this video. I would never leave it looking like this when I was graphing using slope, because I need the negative 2/3 and the 4/3 would just be the y-intercept. So I'm going to leave it in this form for right now. I'm going to go ahead and erase all this. Alright, now to graph this using points. Alright, so now we switched the standard form equation we had into slope-intercept form. And now we just have to pick points to graph. So I always put my x points, and I'm going to say my first one will be, I'll say 0. Alright? First point 0. So I plug in 0. So y equals negative 2, 0, plus 4 over 3. That gives me 0, plus 4 is 4. So the answer is 4/3. So y equals 4/3. This won't be an exact graph, but it'll be close enough because I'm doing it on. Alright, now I have my two other points that I'm going to do. So y equals negative 2 times negative 1 plus 4. All I'm doing is plugging in my x point up here, just like I did for my solution earlier. So negative 2 times negative 1 gives me 2 plus 4. Put it all over 3. 6 over 3, then it gives me 2. So now I'm gonna do 5. So y equals negative 2 times 5 plus 4, negative 10 plus 4, but it's all over 3. So it gives me negative 6 over 3, which gives me negative 2. And there. So, I'll check it real quick. Now I'm gonna graph these 3 points. It's always good to have 3 points. So I'll do 0, 4/3, so that's about 1 1/3, so right there. Negative 1, 2, and then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 2. And there you go, there's your line. And the best way to check this is to look right up here. Our slope was negative, we have negative line. Good job. So that is how you graph it from points. It's a little bit more time consuming to do it this way. I'm going to show you in another video how to do this from slope. But that's all you do. You take your point, plug it in, see what your y point is, and then graph it. I hope this video helped, and good luck.